It was the spark that ignited Arab uprisings in North Africa and the Middle East. Their protest ended with the ouster of President Ben Ali. 10 months have passed since then, and Tunisians are now choosing representatives for a new assembly. Those elected will draft a new constitution. CBN News talked to people on the streets of Tunis.
We are proud. We are the first. We are the example. So it's a good thing.
80 political parties will be on the ballot here, but some of the strongest are Islamists who want a more religious society. 98% of Tunisians are Muslim. However, many like this woman oppose the establishment of a theocratic state.
All the young people want to have the right to choose what they believe, and that's what's the better for our life.
Elliot Abrams is Senior Fellow for Middle East Studies at the Council on Foreign Relations.
I'm optimistic about Tunisia. I think of all the Arab Spring countries, it's the one that has the best chance of moving reasonably smoothly to democracy. I'm hopeful also that the Islamist party in Tunisia, the Ennahda party, turns out to be a reasonable and moderate party, because that would be a good model for the rest of the region.
And while Tunisia may be the most secular nation in North Africa, many people visit here because of its religious heritage and to tour the ruins of ancient Carthage. 150 years after the life of Christ, the city of Carthage was a thriving metropolis. It was the center of Christianity in all of Africa. But today, Christianity is almost non-existent, and there are only several thousand Christians here. The Roman Catholic Church is the only one recognized by the government. But there is a small indigenous church in Tunisia, former Muslims who are now Christians. They allowed us to photograph one recent baptism only if we agreed to cover the face of the person being baptized. Most former Muslims here are rejected by their families, neighbors, and friends. Some, like this man, we'll call him Ali and blur his face to protect his identity, have been interrogated by the police. They tried to persuade him to return to Islam.
But he said, are you talking about Jesus to people? I said, well, if they ask me, like you are a police officer, and you asked me, and I have to defend my faith. He said that can make problems.
Remember those we talked to on the street? They also said Tunisians should be free to choose their faith. What if someone who was a Muslim and became a Christian? Would you have a problem with that?
To be honest, yeah. In religion side, yeah. It makes me, it hurt me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's her choice.
And the government, what, do you think the government should say something about that or not?
No, of course
No.
I'm so proud to be a Muslim girl, and yes, I'm so proud. But I believe that everyone, he has the right to choose what he wants.
And young Tunisians say what they want most are jobs and a better economy. Nearly 1/3 of those between the ages of 15 and 29 are unemployed. The war in neighboring Libya has brought added economic pressures. Tens of thousands of refugees, mostly Libyan women and children, have poured over the border into camps like this one in the southeast Tunisian town of Dahiba. We've joined these Libyan refugee children just across the border inside Tunisia. They're having lunch, a little beans and rice. They get 3 meals a day here in this camp. Tell me, hon, how long have you been here?
خسفوا علينا بالطيارات قتلوا عدد من الثوار هلبة لكن هربنا منهم.
These Berbers from 10 Libyan families, numbering about 50 people, were given temporary housing by this Tunisian man. They were surprised by his hospitality.
We didn't expect this treatment. Though we don't know each other, he treated us as a family.
But as the war next door drags on, one must wonder, will the Libyans overstay their welcome in Tunisia? The president of the Red Crescent Society in Tatooine told us his organization is providing free medical care for the Libyans. He suggests while Tunisians are happy to help the refugees, the community is nearing a breaking point.
Until now, not in good situation, and the arrival of the Libyan refugee has exacerbated the situation.
So what do Dr. Bashir and most Tunisians want now for themselves and their Libyan neighbors?
The good life.
A condition that most Tunisians are hoping will come as the fighting in Libya ends and their refugee guests return home, and after Tunisia's historic election. Gary Lane, CBN News, Tunis, Tunisia.